fell asleep in one world and woke up in another. Suddenly, Disney is out of magic. Paris is no longer romantic. The Chinese wall is no longer a fortress and Mecca is empty. People of Rome stopped roaming. The people of Spain couldn't resist the pain anymore. Suddenly, you realize that power, beauty and money are worthless and can't get to the oxygen you are fighting for. The world continues its life and it's beautiful by putting up humans in cages. This all began in China in the month of December that resulted in international emergency.
India has become the latest and largest country to introduce a nationwide lockdown in the fight against the coronavirus.
पूरे देश में आज रात 12 बजे से संपूर्ण देश में संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है।
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak.
Today I am officially declaring a national emergency.
La decisione giusta oggi è di restare a casa.
Italy's prime minister on Monday announced that travel restrictions would be imposed across the entire country.
Let us see how this rapidly spreading pandemic initiated. It was New Year Eve 2019 when health officials admitted the problem.
Health authorities have activated their most serious response level
after an outbreak of a new type of viral pneumonia
in central China.
The rapidly growing number of people are developing dry cough and fever before developing pneumonia, and for some it turned fatal. COVID-19 or coronavirus disease 2019, indicating that the type of virus is causing the illness. When they tried to trace its origin, they found out the source. This market in Wuhan. Out of first 41 patients, 27 patients had been here. It wasn't conclusive evidence, but Chinese officials quickly shut down the market.
The health officials are trying to get a grip on an alarming outbreak of SARS.
The virus originated in mainland China.
Has spread across the country.
The disease had been festering for months in southern China.
In 2002, coronavirus was emerged in the similar market in southern China. It spread across 29 countries and nearly killed 800 people. Now, 18 years later, this coronavirus had reversed again, killing around 150,000 all over the world. Why is this happening with China? A lot of viruses which make sick actually originate from animals. Some of the viruses like flu originate from birds and pigs. HIV comes from chimpanzees and deadly Ebola virus originates from bat. And in case of 2019 coronavirus, some evidences say that the virus from bats infected pangolin before jumping to humans, while viruses are very good at jumping between species. That's where the Wuhan market comes in. It's a wet market, a kind of place where live animals are slaughtered and sold for consumption. There is a report from Peter Lee, an expert on the China's export and trade.
The cages stack above one over another. Animals at the bottom are often soaked with all kinds of liquid animal excrement, pus, blood, or whatever the liquid they're receiving from the animals above.
That's exactly how a virus can jump from one animal to another. If that animal then comes in contact with or is consumed by a human, the virus could potentially infect them. Wet markets are scattered all over the world, but the ones in China are particularly well known because they offer a wide variety of animals including wildlife. Animals in Wuhan are from all over the world and each one has a potential to carry its own viruses to the market. The reason why all these animals are in the market is because of a decision China's government made decades ago. Back in 1970s, China was falling apart. In order to feed its people, it allowed private farming and enacted the Wildlife Protection Law, which made a stepping stone for not only a domestication of wild animals, but also cover for an illegal wildlife industry. But this had resulted in the deadly SARS virus outbreak in the year 2003. This outbreak made the close down of the market and banned wildlife farming, but this was like a once in a blue moon like act. The closure didn't exist for more days. As the disease was controlled, the officials gave permission to open the market, and the wildlife trade continued to boost up the economy. Due to these past acts, it have resulted now in the global pandemic, which made to dump lakhs of dead humans into the graves. The color of our earth turned red today, not because of the blood of lakhs of people being spread on this earth today, but it is because this earth has shed its blood from digging the wounds that we humans had gave it. Ever since man came to this earth, he has given many wounds to this earth, due to which the anger of this earth has resulted in the volcanoes, the bushfires, tufans, and the breakdown of the deadly diseases. There were 20 main disasters occurred in the last 3 months. The Tal volcano eruption, it spewed a massive cloud of ash which generated fumes 14 kilometers above the crater. Australia's deadly bushfires, which resulted up in the death of 500 million animals and left koalas in a vulnerable to extinct state. The bushfires that ravaged in Australia is not only a concern for the land down under, but also for turning the glaciers of New Zealand brown, which may result in quicker meltdown of the glaciers. There is a rapid vegetation in Himalayas. You would think that it is good, right? Well, not for the Himalayas. It indicates the melting down of glaciers due to the global warming. It's like Basics 101. Our actions with Mother Earth are always like playing with a two-edged sword. You strike one way, it swings back to strike you. This catastrophe is a gift that we have received in exchange for our inhumanity. The universe has its own way of proving its worth. Our thoughtless exploits of what we had cost us millions of lives.